Hi guys, my name is Mark O'Hare. This is We Love Betting. It's the Football League chapter now. Not a great week last week with just 1 out of 3 winners. A shame really considering the start of the season we've had, but hoping to get back to form this weekend. Plenty of decent fixtures in the Football League, starting in the Championship with Sheffield Wednesday against Nottingham Forest. These two teams with impressively identical records actually. 3 wins, 1 defeat at home, 2 draws and 2 defeats away from home, both mid-table, both with 11 points. They go head-to-head at Hillsborough on Saturday. Wednesday had a bit of a taste of their own medicine last weekend against Birmingham, seeing a lead wiped out, a 2-goal comeback from Birmingham, denying Wednesday any points at St Andrews. Of course, just days earlier, Bristol City blew a 2-0 lead at Hillsborough and lost 3-2 to Sheffield Wednesday. Carlos Carvalhal sort of came out afterwards and said he's pretty insistent in his desire to play on the front foot, reiterating the mantra of attack is probably the best form of defence. But Sheffield Wednesday have been struggling at the back recently. Normally reliable Kieran Westwood has been a little bit unsteady and a few uncharacteristic mistakes from him. Tom Lee's form has dipped at centre half. Fullbacks have been inconsistent, and there's been little continuity at the back either. Daniel Poodle and Sam Hutchinson are back and available this weekend, so I expect to see both involved. They've conceded 11 goals in the past 6 outings now. 5 of those matches have seen both teams to score win, and that's the angle I'm taking here at 13-15 with Marathon. The Owls matches, 8 games, have produced 20 goals. That's an average of 2.5 goals per game. And they've only failed to score in 5 of 27 home league games under Carvalhal. Going forward, Stephen Fletcher's all-round attacking play has been excellent, despite not bagging a load of goals so far this season. Forestieri's been involved in 4 of Wednesday's 6 league goals at Hillsborough so far this season, so there's plenty of offensive quality. And both these two teams feature in the top 10 for shots and shots on target. In fact, in the top 6 for shots on target this season. But visitors, Forest, are also quite prominent in the shots against stats. Only Rotherham have faced more shots, and only Rotherham have faced more shots on target. Philippe Montagnier, he's continually rotated his squad. He's made 34 changes already this season, and the goals have really been flowing. The Tricky Trees games are averaging 4.125 goals per game. Only Barnsley have scored more, and only Rotherham have conceded more so far this season. Montagnier's men still yet to keep a clean sheet. Interestingly, despite Dougie Freedman's quite defensive ways of Forest, BTTS has won in 13 of Forest's last 27 away league games since the start of last season, as they've only managed to keep 5 clean sheets in that time. And BTTS has won in 6 of their 8 league games this season. Montagnier bemoaned his side's lack of a ruthless clinical touch against Arsenal in midweek. Kasami particularly at fault. I expect Nicholas Bentner to drop back down to the bench here, and Apostolos Velios, the Greek striker who scored 3 in 3 starts, to return. Together these two teams have seen both teams score in 11 of their 16 league games this season. It's 13-5 for a repeat this weekend with Marathon, and that for me is a good bet. Dipping down into League One then, who's been the best team in League One so far this season? Might surprise you to learn that actually pre-season relegation fancies Bury have been really impressive. David Flitcroft lost his top goal scorer from last season, Leon Clark, and player of the season, Peter Clark, in the summer, but they've been excellent in all 8 games. Could and should probably arguably have more than their 14-point haul following an unfortunate couple of games. Bury now won 3 on the spin, scoring 8 goals. They've won 3 and 4 at Gig Lane in League One this season. And in fact, since promotion back to League One, the Shakers have won 13 of their 27 home games, scoring twice or more in 13 and keeping 10 clean sheets. Harlem Hope scored twice in his first start last weekend against Swindon, but James Vaughan is back from suspension, and top scorer Tom Pope is in excellent form. They love to get the ball wide, use the flanks. Danny Mayer and Zeli Ishmael on the wings offer plenty of threat as well. Unsurprisingly, really, for me anyway, seeing Bury so far this season, they've been fired in the most shots in League One, the 2nd most shots on target. They've actually faced the 5th fewest shots and the 2nd fewest shots on target, so they've got a really good and strong shots ratio figure of above 60% and a shots on target ratio of 64%. Ratios mean that their total share of the total shots or shots on target in their matches. Mayer is a doubt this weekend, it should be said. Centre half Nathan Cameron's out long term, but midfield duo Neil Downs and Kelvin are 2 who are expected back, and Andrew Tuttle could also be in line for a first start. 6-5 from Betfred is too good to turn down for me here for a home win. They've never lost a 3rd-tier game at home to Chesterfield in 20 attempts. The Sparrowhawks, of course, ended Northampton's 31-game unbeaten run last week. On loan striker Connor Wilkinson scoring twice on his home debut for the Spirates. And also Christian Dennis scoring his first Football League goal as well. Helped Danny Wilson's men, who rode their luck at times in that game. Northampton may have had an eye on the Man United match in midweek, but it should be said Chesterfield do feature prominently in the shots attempt standings as well, but they face plenty of those as well, and their away record is quite concerning. They've dropped 6 points from leading positions and taken 0 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats from winnable matches at Oldham, Wimbledon, Shrewsbury and Oxford. They've lost 8 of 16 away under Wilson, kept just 2 clean sheets in that time, and scored 2 or more goals on 3 occasions. Jay O'Shea is performing very well, but Ched Evans remains a doubt this weekend. They might have a bit going forward, but I'm not convinced they've got a strong enough defence to keep Bury out, and the 6-5 on a home win with Betfred really does appeal to me. Finally, into League Two, Stevenage take on Exeter. Stevenage 3 wins on unspin at home, scoring 11 goals at Lamex in the first 4 matches, so they'll be well fancied to pile on the misery for Exeter this weekend. However, despite that trio of triumphs, they have mixed in losses at Grimsby and Wickham. Darren Sile, the boss, has said he's really pleased with the progress he's made since taking over at the back end of last season. They've improved their mentality and effort and work rate. He just wants a bit more of a mean streak in front of the goal, epitomised by really loan signing Tyler Walker, who starred in their 6-1 win against Hartlepool and 2-1 victory against Crawley, both standing out as very strong home performances. They've got captain Ronnie Henry back this weekend. Andrew Fox should also feature as well. But it should be noted, really, Darren Sile's side have faced more shots on target than any team bar Morecambe, and no side has faced more shots on target this season in League Two than Stevenage. That's over 6 shots on target per game they're facing. So instead of a home success, I like the idea of backing both teams to score here again. 8-11 with Bet365. It's one of 6 of Stevenage's 8 games, including all 4 at home. I think it's quite easy to write Exeter off. That Devon Derby defeat at Plymouth, of course, stands out. And there's 4 defeats from 4 at home. Their worst home start since 1983. Just 2 wins and 20 at home. And in fact, they've just got a 28% win ratio at home since returning to League Two. There's been a Facebook petition drawn up to boycott home games now under Exeter with Tisdale in charge. However, they excel on the road, the Grecians. 41 wins and 96 away league games since returning to League Two. An incredible 43% win ratio. They've won 7 of 11 away and 6 of 8 at bottom half teams. 5 of those wins by 2 or more goals. They have lost 6 of 8 games this season. But it's worth saying that Paul Tisdale's team did win away at Accrington and Colchester, and they've competed very well in all of their games, bar the defeat at Blackpool. Seen plenty of possession, including but it's just a bit of bad luck really, and a few injuries have been letting them down, and composure in front of goal. They've hit the woodwork in losses to Plymouth, Hartlepool, Crewe, Crawley and Blackpool. And although their 6-goal haul doesn't exactly stand out, it's not really a fair reflection on the chances they've created this season. Chuck in a bit of comical defending, that injury list, which is improving. Lee Holmes and Craig Woodman, the latest players to be back to fitness this weekend. And you can see why Tisdale is under pressure. However, I wouldn't discount Exeter here. I think they're a decent team, a decent threat going forward, and I think the 8-11 on BTTS with Bet365 is well worth backing. It's 1 in 2 of their 4 away games and has a 58% success rate in league matches away under Paul Tisdale since returning to League Two. Very strong trends there too. So BTTS at Stevenage, Exeter 8-11 with Bet365. Bury to win at 6-5 with Betfred, and BTTS at Sheffield Wednesday against Nottingham Forest. 13-15 of Marathon makes up my 3 favourite Football League bets this weekend. Best of luck, and I'll catch you next week.